Hey, friends. Thank you for joining this session with me. I'm your host, but I'm also leading this session. I'm Joe Seppi, as it says right there. Where is it? Right there. That's my name. Yeah, thanks for joining. Thank you to Jenna for that previous session on Code Engine. I find Code Engine pretty exciting, and I'm looking to leverage it more in some of the work that I'm doing. Thanks to Beth as well, who did the cloud native talk earlier, and I'll give some pre-thank yous to John Wallachy and Remco de Knicker later today, joining us, as well as the panel. Which reminds me, we have this experts panel happening in a short bit, and we have experts from the Node Core developers, the folks working on the platform, Beth and Michael. So you can ask questions about that specifically, or we have a couple of experts who build Node applications for our clients at IBM and stuff, part of the garage and whatnot. So they are very experienced application developers and are happy to answer your questions as well. Great group of people too. I'm looking forward to talking with them and hopefully digging into some of your questions. Please drop those questions into the Slack at any time. The Slack is on the OpenJS org Slack, right? If you're not in there, that's the link right there. Join the Slack. And when you get there, if you do the little Command T thing or go to the search bar and look up IBM or workshops, you will jump into our Slack channel, where we can help you with the workshops, or you can ask your questions for the panel, or we can just generally chat and hang out. We also have a Zoom thing happening. So if you have any questions that you want to, have somebody get over your shoulder and take a look at some issue that you're having, that would be great. I don't know if I have that. If I have that link handy. Let me see if I can find it really quickly. Is that it? That's the cloud link. That's the survey. I don't have it, but I will get it for you, and we will put that up in a moment as well, the link to join the Zoom, if that's something you need. What other housekeeping things did I want to mention? Also, this is the link for signing up for IBM Cloud. So there's a free account, no credit card needed. You can get in there and start messing about. There's lots of stuff that's freely available to you on that plan, that free plan. So definitely check that out. What was the other thing I was just thinking about? I actually have a survey link that we should be sharing as well, and I will share it here with you now. And you can let us know how things are going. So maybe take note of that, and you could fill it out now or later. That'd be cool. Yeah, and also just thank you to the OpenJS folks for putting the whole event together yesterday. It was a really great event. Had a lot of fun. Lots of great content that can be consumed at any time now. Check out the OpenJS Foundation's YouTube channel for all that content. So cool. Thank you to them. And it looks like that is the link to something. I think that's to the Zoom, right? So that's actually to the workshop link. But regardless, I'm not going to get distracted. That is the Zoom. Okay, cool. Great. Thank you. My producer is telling me, yep, this just in. That is the Zoom. Great. Cool. So, I want to share with you some stuff we'll talk about. These are the different ways that we can deploy this application that Beth walked us through earlier, right? It's a cloud native application. Let's talk about the ways to deploy it to the cloud. Thankfully, Jenna walked us through Cloud Code Engine, which is really cool. This is actually my buddy Sai. We used to be on the same team together. If you haven't seen his videos, they're fantastic. Very informative and illustrative. He's got one of these fancy screens where he can draw things out for you and stuff. My camera's reversed, so when I look at the screen, I'm looking the wrong way. I got to figure that out. Cool. So yeah, Code Engine is awesome. As Jenna showed you, it's really super easy. I think I have it right here. Yeah, I'm already logged in. Hang on, I have it right here. So this is the page once you're logged into IBM Cloud, and just bam, like you can, if you have I think that you need the Kubernetes file in there. Your manifest, whatever it's called, you drop your GitHub URL in there, and it'll do what we call source to image. That will take your excuse me, your application and package it up for you and deploy it. It's really super handy and super easy. Let's see, can I just even click this? It looks like that's probably one that we can just play around with. Jenna probably went through this already, but basically we would create a project and click create, and we're pretty much off to the races. It's really pretty handy. Let me just check my notes here. I want to make sure that I'm staying on track. So yeah, Code Engine is cool. I dig it. I'm going to also talk to you about, since that application that we were working on earlier with Beth is you're running it on Kubernetes locally, you can very easily take that right to IBM Cloud with what you have there. I'm logged in here. This again is our Kubernetes service on IBM Cloud is free to do a cluster, but that is, I just want to make this clear, it's different than the free cloud account. And the difference is that in the free cloud account, it is free, no credit card, you don't have to worry about it. I think you need to like deploy things every 10 or 20 days or something in order for it to stay up there, like keep your code fresh. And so, things don't just sit around for years, which I do sometimes, so I don't blame them. But for the Kubernetes cluster, you need to put in a credit card. And the reason for that is actually, and with all problems on the internet, it is because of Bitcoin. So people sign up for these free clusters and then they start mining Bitcoins, and then that's just, we can't let that slide. So that's why you have to put a credit card in for this. So my apologies there, but it is still free. With kind of the basics up and running for you. And again, it's pretty simple to get going. This is showing the standard plan. But if we jump over to the free plan, my create button is ready to go. And in fact, I think that we can even I think if I just click this create, you can see the free here, right? I don't know if my screen's big enough, but we are spinning up our Kubernetes cluster, and that's pretty cool. My machine's running a little bit slow because I'm streaming and all this stuff. It does expire in 30 days. That's something to note. But you can definitely play around and see how this works for you. And I think you'll find it helpful. Right? So cool. That's awesome. That's a quick and easy way to take what you did earlier in the earlier workshop and just deploy it. And we have IBM Cloud CLI, so if that's your jam, you can get right in there. You'll need to like log in, and perhaps there are a couple of settings that you need to kind of define when you first log in. I think your region, make sure your resource groups or what have you are set appropriately. It's actually not that hard, but I think there are a couple of steps, and then you can deploy in that manner. On IBM Cloud using their Kubernetes service. So that's cool. One of the super easy ways to deploy a Node.js app on IBM Cloud is with Cloud Foundry. And that's, again, you'll need the either the Cloud Foundry CLI or the IBM Cloud CLI. I recommend the IBM Cloud one so that you get everything that you need. But basically, all you need for that is, and this is one of my own applications that is deployed via Cloud Foundry. basically you need this manifest YAML file, right? And a couple of things set. I have this Cloud and DB thing set, but that's not even required if you're not using that service or any other services. So you really, I think, just need these two fields in your manifest YAML. Somebody correct me if I'm wrong, keep me honest, but I know it's only 2 or 3. Yeah, actually, this file is pretty old, but I'm pretty sure it's still the same. And then you just do, Cloud Foundry push. If you're logged into IBM Cloud or whatever service you're using, it should just go and be cool. So that's great. And you got from the previous workshop all your metrics and monitoring set up, and that's great. So that's another way to deploy that workshop or any Node.js app, or if you have a different platform, different application, you could still, especially in the containerized versions, still deploy these things quite easily, and that's cool. But Kubernetes, let's be honest, is hard. And I mean, when you get into a robust application and you're talking about networking and all this other stuff, it's not easy. You will want to build out a team if you have a production level application, right? And so that is why IBM is all in on Red Hat, right? Red Hat is OpenShift, I should say, is a opinionated way to run your containerized applications, and obviously Red Hat's been doing this for a long time. So these opinions are industry standards, and these are battle tested, enterprise ready. Insert your phrase here, but the truth is that this stuff is ready to go for enterprise production applications. And even if you're not at that level, at least when you get there, everything's in place for you. So that's something really to consider. I know, there's, I believe, some free tiers that you can mess around with this, and that's awesome. And I encourage you to. But when you're serious about deploying your production applications, OpenShift is really the way to go. And the cool thing too is like OpenShift goes everywhere. Obviously I work for IBM, so I'm going to talk to you about IBM Cloud, but this can go on Azure, it can go on Google Cloud, and I can't remember the other one, but there's another big one that you might be using as well. So this goes everywhere, right? And our play too at IBM is like, that's cool. Everybody's got their stuff wherever they need it, and we can help you in your kind of multi-cloud environment. So that's our jam, right? So OpenShift, the common way to, I think the like primary way to interact with OpenShift is either via the OpenShift CLI or the UI, and I think probably a lot of people are using the CLI. Get things running and have their pipelines and their build systems, their CI/CD stuff all set up. But there are kind of two views into working with OpenShift. So I don't know if views is the right word, but you can think of like two different personas. And the OpenShift CLI, which is commonly called OC. I don't know if there's really much to show you here, but here OC command, right? This is a very operations focused approach to managing your Kubernetes and OpenShift deployments. And it's going to expose a lot of the complexity of managing those deployments. If you're not an operations person, if you are a developer, this may not be the tool for you, but I just want to point out is this is the robust, full-featured CLI that you may interact with OpenShift with. And there are a number of other operations-focused CLIs that you might also come across for OpenShift and Kubernetes container platforms. For OpenShift, we have a Helm CLI. We have, and do I even have it kind of listed here? Yeah. So like a Helm CLI. We have the Knative CLI for like serverless stuff. We have a Tecton pipeline CLI, operators, which is a thing we're really excited about. So check those things out as well. But really, if you are more on the developer side, we have something called Odo, right? I'm not even sure. Is that the right way to say? I've actually never really watched Star Trek, but is it pronounced Odo or Odu? I'm not sure, and I'm frankly I'm not sure how to pronounce this one either. But this is the developer focused CLI for OpenShift and Kubernetes deployments, right? And this kind of abstracts away a lot of the operations focused stuff that you don't need to worry about and sort of brings to the fore the developer side of things. So there are even like, maybe I'll even play this. Is there any sound? But there are, templates to create applications and have things spun up. But you can see right there, bing, bang, boom, create and push. And, you're kind of off to the races. I think this probably assumes that you're already logged into your OpenShift account. This is a great way to start to interact as a developer with your OpenShift platform, right? So super cool. Let's take it a step further, right? Because we're not just developers here, and I'm perhaps making some assumptions, but we are also node developers, right? So there is another thing another tool called NodeShift, NodeShift.dev. You can see it up there in the screen. And this is even more focused on the developer, but particularly the developer who is developing a Node.js application. It would be cool if they had a little video I could click here too, but they don't. But basically, it's smart in the sense of it knows what a Node.js application looks like and makes certain assumptions on that. And so, for example, we would assume you have a packaged JSON file with some commands in there and everything. And it would take that and be like, cool, I know what to do with this. I'm smart. I'm focused on Node, and I'm going to get you up and running as quickly as I can and make things as easy for you as I can. And, we have a whole NodeShift org on GitHub, and a lot of these modules and concepts are taken from they existed before this reference architecture, but like we're working on a reference architecture and it is informing the things that we're doing here. And so that's another thing you might want to take a look at if you're building Node.js applications, is our reference architecture. In fact, I will pull it up for you while we're talking here. My screen is blown up, but you can see here Michael Dawson, Beth Griggs, some of the folks who are on the experts panel, folks who are developing Node and folks who are developing Node applications are all kind of working on this and trying to provide the community a reference architecture that we are taking from our learnings and what our clients are using, our customers, and trying to give some guidance there so that we can be helpful. Let's see. The other thing that I wanted to talk to you about really quickly is OpenShift is really pretty cool, and this interactive learning portal is really pretty cool. And you can jump into here and use the UI. So we've been talking about CLIs, but this UI, the OpenShift UI is really powerful and is a great way to be managing your applications. And this learning portal is pretty magical. You just get right in here, you start one of these scenarios, and you've got an integrated terminal and a console. Sorry, I bopped that out. And they basically walk you through what you need to do here. And I've spent a bunch of time and ran some workshops here, and it's pretty cool. Let me actually drop this link into here so that you all can see this one here, right? So even if you just go to learn.openshift.com, you'll see the variety of resources that they have here. Yes, I do want to leave the site. And, the getting started for developers. Okay, actually, let me go to the top level here because there's lots of good stuff here. So there's the stuff on Kafka. There was a serverless one I'm looking for. Oh, my screen's a little goofy. Actually, interestingly, I'm pretty sure, let me just pull this one up, right? Serverless. There's this whole section on doing serverless. So there's really a lot of cool stuff that you can do here and a lot of learning that you can do. So I hope that, folks will take this resource and dive into it and have some fun. There's a lot that we can do there. So, I just wanted to kind of share with you all some of these ways that we can deploy our applications. And like I said, with OpenShift, you can do that to IBM Cloud. You can do that to Azure or wherever else you want to go. And if you have a multi-cloud environment, we can help you with that too. But I hope that this is informative and that you've had some fun, and I hope that you stick around because in about a minute, John Wallachy, my colleague, is going to jump in and do his talk, which I'm really excited about, a photo booth, a AI-infused photo booth with Node-RED. So that's cool. And, remember to bop out of this session and bop over to the other session. And we'll keep having fun today. And, feel free to check us out in the Slack chat, jump on the Zoom. Beyond this, feel free to engage with me on Twitter at Joe_Seppi on the Twitter machine. And yeah, thanks. I appreciate you hanging out. Cheers, friends.